now.
Awesome.
All right, sweet. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome. We've got some really exciting milestones today. Jewel is on a fury right now at 1250. I think we reached 1260 as our top. And we've got 3K subs now on the channel, which is just incredible. Thank you guys so much for all the support coming in. So cool to see that. We've got a really special live stream here today. I almost said Zoom for some reason. But in this live stream, we are going to, we've got Low DeFi here and Hard Abs from JEWELCAST. We also have Hans, one of our new bards here. So welcome, guys. You guys want to say something to our audience real quick?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Low DeFi here. We're really excited for this episode. A big congrats to you, Tosh, for 3,000, and congrats to Hans for the Bard, and definitely check out his Medium articles. I'm super excited about tonight. Lots going on. The hype is here, so I'm ready to have a nice stream.
Hey guys. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
All right, hey guys. This is Hard Abs from JEWELCAST, and we are very excited to be here. And Tosh, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm a new bard, as they mentioned recently. Just kind of joined the crew last week, but I love the game and just can't get enough of it. So thanks for letting me on your show. It's an honor.
Yeah, of course, of course. Glad to have you guys here. And it's all about just promoting everything DFK because, you know, everybody knows here that this community is the way. And if you've been here for a while, it's just very clear. Well, anyways, yeah, we've got a really exciting giveaway going on. I have the King Simo link in the description, and also share that around chat. But we are giving away this hero here, 75579, fresh Gen 1 Thief, right off the press. He's actually still on cooldown for summoning, I think a couple more hours, but he will be ready to go for you. Pretty cool. So if we look at his stats, he's actually a miner, and he's got some pretty decent stats. He still has 20 points for fishing. And his mining is still at 15 points for being a thief. Not so bad. So really, really cool. It's given an exciting giveaway here.
Yeah,
what do you guys think that guy's worth?
I mean,
in today's level, you're looking at, I'm going to throw it out there. I think it's like 130, in my opinion.
Ooh, 130, nice.
Yeah, I mean, you got the uncommon. It looks primed to go for some Dark Knights too. I mean, I think it's looking nice. I think it's hard right now. That's what I'm trying to gauge is the hero market's in a really interesting spot with, you know, the price of Jewel, and there's the airdrops in the bank, and there's so much going on that the valuation of heroes is kind of getting a little all over the place. But I mean, the Gen 1 10 out of 10 is, you know, one of the safest hero bets you can make. So yeah, I think 130, 150 is a prime spot.
Yeah, for sure. That's exciting. And that's a cool thing about like summoning with the Gen Zeros is that if you have a 10 out of 10 Gen 1, it's pretty much always going to sell for a decent amount. And I think it's a great hero to get ready with summoning. Oh man, look at this. Sarah in chat saying she's going to throw in another hero for this giveaway. Oh, that is
wow.
Crazy. So we're going to have 2 heroes to give away now. Let's see what happens. Like, you know, anything can happen on these live streams. We've seen some really crazy giveaways. Right now we're up to 2 heroes from 1. Sarah, if you want to give us that ID number too, I can show that one on the stream.
But yeah, and heroes being given away all over the place. This is awesome, and it's great seeing everyone in the community get all hyped up. And when you get that hero out to that person, they're so grateful, and it's so much fun. I'm really enjoying this.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I think it's worth also thanking the DFK fam for helping to sponsor stuff like this, because it really does help get more people in the community. And I know everyone's excited about the gardening quest, and some people, don't have heroes that can do all the quests. So I think more people we can get in here, the better,
Absolutely, and that's what DFK is all about, is just like building this community and being so welcoming and generous to people that are new in the community. Like, a lot of us weren't in these like crazy financial positions just a couple months ago, and now like we want to give it back because we know what it's like, and feel that grind with us in DFK. It's amazing just amazing train to ride on.
34164 is what I'm seeing for the hero ID from Sarah.
All right, yeah, 34164. Let's check this out in the hero viewer. Let's see.
Yeah.
Ooh, a pure knight here. No summons left, but let's check. It's a knight miner. Already in
Oh,
level
wow.
2. Or,
Ooh.
sorry, no, still level 1, but has full experience, ready to level 2. 23 points on a miner for level 1. That is pretty solid. Nice hero to
Very
give away.
generous. Holy.
Yeah,
plus he has
thank you,
strength
Sarah.
bonus,
That is
too.
amazing.
Wow, this is great.
Heck yeah,
Sarah,
great hero.
Sarah has done so much. You know, I'm sure most people here know DFK Wiki. I'm using it every day, and I know everyone is. So, big shout out to Sarah. She's helped us out with JEWELCAST too. She helped me set up the live streaming and got me so much information and support. It's been super great. So.
Heck yeah, and actually, let's take a look at DFK Wiki and some of the stats going on here. I love to see
Ooh.
like how the changes in jewel price kind of correlate to some things going on. So, as expected, we do see as the jewel price is going up, we see summoning is decreasing just a little bit. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely seeing that now. It's that correlation with the rise in price is making summoning a little bit more of a luxury, but I think that's good. It kind of lowers that hero inflation because summoning has been off the charts the last few weeks. I know Hard Abs has been going heavy on the summoning.
I have been. It's really tough because obviously the market is kind of fluctuating back and forth, and I mean with this miner, I'm just looking at this. It's really tough to get a mining knight because whoever's getting this, congrats to you. But yeah, I mean we're seeing the fluctuations with the price, and I don't know. I gotta change up my strategy because I think at a certain point it's not really. It's gonna be tough because we're gonna be putting more money, spending more jewel, and are we really gonna be making, our money back if any profit at all? So it's gonna be very interesting as soon as the price of jewel, appreciates towards like the $15 to $20 range.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
absolutely.
some thoughts there too. I think I've been hearing people talk about the more nuanced heroes, and it seems to me like as we learn more about the game and we get further into it, I think the heroes that are really good fits for, professions, are really good at questing, are going to be, more highly valued. But I do think the floor heroes are going to kind of probably continue going down. I mean, as we kind of learn more about what's good in the game. But then you got to think about, are you thinking in jewel price or are you thinking in USD price? Because, if the jewel price suddenly doubles like it kind of did recently, and it's like where do you denominating your gains in? Are you comparing this to just holding jewel or that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing is you've got, a group of people that have enough jewel to where they're thinking about stuff in jewel, so $30 to $40 maybe, a little bit more if you're with like an advanced class. It's not much, but then, we're over $12 now. You're talking, you know,
Yeah,
nearing $1,000 a summon it's definitely a lot, especially when you get a dud. I mean, it hurts for everyone, so you definitely have to be a little more, you know, got to plan these out and using those. I've been using those hero bots for my summons now. Like I'm planning my summons out now. I'm not just willy-nilly with them.
Yeah, what hero bot are you using? Because I haven't really checked those out yet.
It's in the Discord. It's Mr. Zippers.
Oh, that's right, that hero bot.
It's awesome because so what I did a couple days ago was I bought a bunch of knight miners. I was trying to, because I wanted to make a bunch of paladins, or try to at least. So I was getting like some knights and warrior gen 1s that I wanted to summon with, and I bought several, and then I would use the hero bot to match them up. So I would type in all these different combinations to see what were my best chances of getting a paladin or getting just the gardening profession. So if I did miss or whatever, but it's been really great. It's pretty amazing that now that we have the recessive genes information, what you can do with it now, and you can really be a little bit more specific with who you're summoning with.
Yeah, absolutely. That recessive gene information is quite the game changer, and I know Mr. Zipper wrote about it a bit in his article today in his Hero Watch. But yeah, I want to get your thoughts on like what you guys think about the recessive gene information revealed, and let me pull up Kingdom Watch too, and I can show what that looks like for some of our viewers that may be less familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think from a high level, it's really cool to just keep getting more nuance on this game. I mean, because the more complex it is, really, the better. Because it's like you don't want it to be so simple where you're like, oh, yeah, we know exactly what the best thing is right now. You know, you kind of want to have to work for it a little bit and look for some alpha here, and it's
Mhm.
fun to sit and talk about. So I think it's cool to have more dimensions in the game. It just makes it more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I have a Kingdom Watch report pulled up. This is actually for my Mythic Gen Zero Archer. So you can see on Kingdom Watch, it shows you the recessive genes, and this is the percentage of chance that it has to roll this specific hero. So it's interesting that not like each trait is rolled individually, is that it's a whole hero kind of like archetype that's rolled with the recessive genes, and it's interesting like how you can make those combinations and see like what is possible within the recessive genes as well.
Yeah, it blows my mind how much the information has to be like stored in these contracts and these NFTs to to relay this information, and with like each summon, portray it and get all the chances. It's quite intricate, and yeah, it's
I
hard
was
for
gonna.
me to even understand and grasp the actual, high level that this is at.
It's just so funny because this actually takes me back to like biology class in high school when we did like the Punnett squares and stuff like that when we were
Yeah.
talking about
Totally.
like recessive genes and stuff like that, and it's really insane. So yeah, I mean kudos to the devs and Frisky for doing this.
Yeah, for real.
Hans,
No, I thought the same thing. Hard as it's just like, yep, back to biology class with the
yeah.
Punnett squares, dude. Genetics now. It's like DFK has like brought the weirdest skill sets together. It's like WoW auction house, biology, and Diablo 2 stat crafting and theory
Right.
crafting. There's just so many
Dexes and
elements.
like crypto and like how does that like you
Yeah,
basically roll that up into a ball and you get DFK.
yeah. Then there's crypto, and then there's like all this financial stuff, and then it's like basically gambling when you're summoning. So taking those probabilities. It's so cool. I love how many layers there are in this game, and like I noticed just immediately like how unique these mechanics are. I'm like this like Axie's summoning system is so much more like linear, but it's like every time you summon a hero now, there's so much that changes.
Hans, so how long have you been in the DFK ecosystem?
It hasn't been that long. I mean, it's almost like, man, I think it's only been a few weeks, maybe a month or more.
And how did you first stumble upon it again?
Uh, I'm in some DGen chats with some guys like SatStart and
Oh,
some of
nice.
his friends. So he's kind of sharing this stuff, and I'm like, what is this thing? And then I finally tried it out, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
it sucks you in real quick, that's for sure.
I know. It's crazy just like how addicting just being a part of this community is. Like everything about it. Just like checking your gardens, doing your quests, hopping on Discord, hanging out with your friends, like checking out what's been summoning, checking out the charts.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have basically my calendar when my Gen Zeros are basically like ready to go. So I set up
nice.
like certain time frames on my calendar to make sure that I'm utilizing and maximizing the profit.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the comparisons between Axie and this because I was getting into Axie for a bit before this, and some of the first questions I had when I get into this game were like, okay, how do we keep that situation with the smooth love potion, from happening here? Like, is that going to be a problem? And I was really surprised that, like, everybody had kind of thought this through already, and because, I mean, in case you're not familiar with Axie, smooth love potion was providing some Filipinos working wages, and it was doing some good in third world countries. But the price has just been, I mean, falling through the floor despite actually three times changing the mechanics. They changed the mechanics twice. They launched a DEX to suck up liquidity, but there's still just like a massive glut of SLP, and the prices just keep going down and down and down, and it's kind of a big bummer. But in DFK, the primary difference is, I mean, there's a lot of differences, but when it comes to SLP, that Jewel token has a hard cap, and SLP doesn't. You can just, I mean, you can farm up as much as you want until essentially the marginal price is zero. And, it's essentially, now that I look at it, it's like, that's a broken game mechanic. And,
Yeah, it's not
and
sustainable.
DFK doesn't have that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the SLP mechanic is just not sustainable because as they get more players, then they're going to be minting more, and the only ways to sustain that is by getting the increased demand of Axie. But I heard Frisky Fox today talk about the DApp radar stats, and I'll have to see if I can find these. But he said that the Tavern had 4 times the volume of the sales of Axie last week. You don't know like how insane that stat is. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I looked it up yesterday because I saw one of the heads of Dapper Radar tweeted it out, and yeah, you pull it up, and because we've looked on it on our show the past few times, and the volume was creeping up there, but there was like this weird discrepancy with like the volume and users that's definitely seemed off. We were like, it's definitely not tracking everything, and then yeah, once they updated all the contracts, because the Tavern has so much volume and all the other aspects, and it literally shot up. I mean, it makes sense now. There's just so much activity going on here and money moving. It's because I'm watching hero sales constantly. Like I always have that tab open looking at the sales going through, and it's definitely showing now.
Yeah, I mean, I posted on Twitter about this too, and it's like, I had actually predicted that this was gonna happen, where DFK would surpass Axie. And that was one of the topics that was in that article that went around on Yahoo Finance and all that.
Yeah.
But when I heard that news, I went and looked into it, and then it was like, I mean, at the time I checked, it was like twice as much volume on chain for DFK as Axie. But still, I mean, that's huge because if you compare like the market cap of AXS versus Jewel weighted by on-chain volume, it's like, I mean, for Jewel to be valued at the same multiple as Axie right now, you'd be looking at $1,700 per Jewel token. I mean, that's like the upside, and I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but that's what the market is literally pricing Axie at. And just people haven't found out about this game yet, so that's why I'm so excited to be able to spread the word, because I mean, I think once people get into this, they're going to be like, I mean, there's no contest.
Exactly. Like, there's just no contest. There's nothing that compares to DFK. And I loved, like, one of my favorite parts about the AMA where Frisky was talking about the AVAX expansion is like, well, instead of giving anybody an opportunity to replicate us, we're just going to expand to all these other blockchains. And it's going to bring so much ridiculous money into Jewel. And if you're here now, like, you're still early on Jewel. It's been like 3.5 months since this is launched. So absolutely insane. Like, we're doing something that nobody else has ever done before.
Yeah, people sitting on the sidelines, that's like the main issue. Like they look at the price of Jewel and that's what they look at, and they don't think about the NFT aspect of it, they don't think about the summoning. And so when they say out loud, "Hey, we're late, it's too late to get into this this DFK." I'm like, "No, there's no reason for you to say that." Like the APRs are still ridiculous. The DeFi Kingdoms is basically right behind Axie, and we're going to take and eat up all that liquidity from Axie, and we're going to be number 1, and this is going to be probably in the next middle of the next year. I mean,
Yeah,
with the expansion, there's no problem. Like I don't see an issue with that.
You look at what's going on with the Ronin Dex on Axie right now, and it's like, I mean, I was literally staking in this pool, and I know a lot of other people are too, in their pool, so you can earn Ron tokens. And I'm sure it'll be worth something, but Ron's not even trading yet. And so it's like you could be earning like fat Jewel rewards right now compared to like the Ron token that you can get in the Ronin sidechain, that who knows when it's going to even launch or what it's going to be worth. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It's going to have some value. It'll probably be, good, but it's like, it's just much more, in the present moment to be farming, Jewel right now.
Yeah, did Frisky say something about the volume, or would he talk about the TVL in comparison to Axie? What was that again today in the AMA?
I think he was saying weekly trading volume. It might have been like for the tokens or for the taverns. I forget.
I
I
got you.
think I
Yeah.
think there was a couple recalculations when they added those contracts because there was on-chain volume that came in from there, and there was TVL. So I
Hmm.
haven't really looked at the changes in TVL yet. I just glanced at the on-chain volume, but still, that's a big deal.
If that
Totally, totally.
radar is correct, I mean, we're less than a billion away
Yeah,
of TVO. I mean, yeah, I
that's
mean, this
crazy.
is this is less than a billion away. I mean, Axi's at 4.1 billion. We are at 3.46 billion. It's right around the
Yeah.
corner.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting because we had Taiki on last week, and he comes straight from the DeFi yield farming, liquidity pools, and the way he described pretty much every farm token, it's you farm and you dump back into whatever chain you're on, or a safer token into a stable, and it especially with these such high APRs, the selling pressure is usually too much. But the way we have things set up, and Superior, who's not with us right now, he had a great way of explaining how the contrast between the farmers, and then you have the people involved with the NFTs and doing all the summoning, and how they are basically supporting each other and creating that demand for Jewel, that it's so weird getting in permanent loss, that what most people worry about when it's the farm token that's outpacing everything else. Like, I've never seen that. Every farm token I've been in, or anything I've been using in an LP, I've always had to keep an eye on so closely because I'm worried about you know the dilution of the token and the emissions, and I'm always just having to, like, and it's so weird being in a spot where it's the exact opposite, where Jewel people in LPs are sometimes worried because Jewel goes up, and they're like, oh no, I'm losing Jewel. And yeah, it's wild,
Yeah,
the
and
demand.
man, if I think like back in the day, like how much Jewel I was dumping at like between like $1 and $2, because I was like, there's no way it can get that much higher. Like it would just be crazy. Uh
It's hard for me to even bring up because I got to DFK the first hour it launched,
oh
and
wow.
emissions were over 1,000,000% for a little bit, and I can't
Crazy.
even think about. I would take my emissions, convert them to one, and I was minting other NFTs on the Harmony blockchain, and I minted probably like 40 or 50 NFTs with
Dang.
the Jewel I transferred into one, and like the first week or so, and Superior and I talk about this too. It's like we don't even want to look back at our past transactions and see how much Jewel was just. And
Oh, I know. I dare not to look at mine.
thank, thankfully at the time the locking was 95%, and sometimes it's hard to be like, oh, I want to get all that locked Jewel out, but someone made a comment to me and they were like, the locking mechanism was probably the best thing to happen to you,
Yes.
because if it wasn't for that locking mechanism, I probably would have sold at $1. I probably would have sold at 50 cents. It was,
That was like your saving grace, really.
yeah, Frisky was really looking out for me. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just like I always looked at as like those jewel aren't real. This is a forced hodl right now, but it's gonna be
yeah,
really great when that starts unlocking.
yeah, I know. I'm exciting because the mining. Because I remember reading the docs, and I think for a lot of people that was, oh, I'm getting these great APRs. I understand some of it's locked, but now I can get some of that out early. So, you got the mining aspect, and the miners are always have been hot since the heroes came out, and it's, I think that's going to be with gardening and mining. I think that's really going to be the next stage here for DeFi Kingdoms.
Yeah, it's a huge evolution, and I wanted to talk to you guys about gardening a little bit and like what your strategies are. So, like, first of all, are you guys stacking up really high in one garden with your pools? And how much weight do you think like having a lot of money within a pool is going to affect your gardening rewards, Hans? Or what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a hard question. I mean, I don't think there's a simple answer yet. I ran a thing on Twitter and just asked people what they were doing with their LPs, and I got a wide variety of answers. I mean, there are people that are really into one because that's the Harmony blockchain. That's the base layer here. And you got people that are super duper into AVAX, and you got people that are, that only want to deal with the stablecoin pairs. And um, to be honest with you, I think I kind of like what your guest said last week about farming, and it's just like, I don't think of myself as a really great trader, and so I'm kind of just spreading it out, and I'm,
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how the gardeners work, um, because in the docs it's a little bit unclear to me whether it's because it says like you can put a gardener into a garden, but then I'm like, do you mean a seed in a garden or only one in the whole garden? Like if I've got five liquidity pools and five gardeners, can I put one in each pool?
I
Yeah, I
believe
think it's one
so.
per.
Okay, and it says like you can put gardeners into a garden you don't own. So I'm like, does that mean I can literally send them over to Tosh and have them, gardening for him? Or like,
Oh
does
no.
that mean if I'm not in a certain liquidity pool, I can put them on that? So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
still a lot
Option
going on
two. So if you're not like in a certain liquidity pool, you could put one there as well.
there. Okay, that's awesome. So
Yeah, for
yeah, I mean, I
sure.
just can't wait until this goes live. I'm gonna be on there like as soon as I can and putting information out on Twitter so everyone can, see it, and hopefully writing a more in-depth thing on Medium. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm excited to hear to see that.
yeah, this gardening is definitely the least we know about. Mining's pretty set in stone, other than like the rewards. But yeah, from what we know, it's you can go one per garden, and then there's going to be like that community garden aspect where you can still get runes, other plants for the alchemist, and eggs. So there's going to be a new egg that we can find in the gardens. I think it's going to be green,
Ooh.
and there's three plants that Sarah knows, um, that she found on the blockchain.
Yeah.
And yeah, the main thing I'm focusing on is pool percentage. Because I remember Hubert talking about that, and he mentioned it's the rewards are going to be based off of your pool share in a sense. So between your hero stats and pool share are going to be kind of the two bigger factors.
Okay.
So I'm kind of going heavy in one pool, and I bought up a bunch of gardeners recently. So, and I've been summoning, trying to get some paladins, which I've thankfully had some luck with. And then
Yeah, I've been seeing those. Those are good.
yeah, I had about a 2 week timeout from summoning. I really just wanted to, and it was great because I kind of took some time off, and then all the recessive gene info came out. Mr. Zipper was providing those bots, and then I'm like, okay, this is the time to go for it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think heavy in one pool is definitely smart because the Jewel one pool has a lot of liquidity. So I'm not trying to go heavy in that one because my pool share is just not going to be near as big. Is my main focus. And Sarah also mentioned we got 15 minutes left on the giveaway.
Yeah, yeah. I might extend that if we're still all having a good time.
Yeah.
I noticed I have the docs up here pulled up too, but they actually put a little bit more information in there.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's like every 12 minutes of gardening, you spend a stamina, and then it'll like I think it's going to be almost like a quest completion. So you might get a certain amount of experience or a certain amount of whatever, and then they just sit there until they're drained of experience or when you take them off. But the ones with gardening heroes, you get every 10 minutes. So you get faster rewards. You can drain their stamina faster to keep them up, have higher uptime on those. So I think if you have like some really good gardeners, like stacking that, stacking a couple pools or as many as you like have gardeners to constantly cycle in is going to be the best. Really like maximize rewards out of that. So yeah, I'm super bullish on gardening. I can't wait to see these numbers, but I'm excited for like the info that's starting to be released, and we'll see how soon one of those eggs can pop out.
Yeah, so I'm taking a different approach. So I basically got the news that obviously we're going into AVAX, and so I basically pulled all of my liquidity from the pool from the gardens, and I'm just staking Jewel. I mean,
Nice.
I'm just doing that, and I have it staked right at this point in the bank. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the gardens, and if it's really that lucrative, because it's for me when I read it, it was just kind of unclear. But what I'm doing is just I'm just gonna sit and wait for like a week to see how everything is, um, and then I'll jump back into the gardens.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And
That'll be
I actually
interesting.
I recently got into the Jewel Luna Garden, and that
Oof,
has been the best one because both of those tokens
Luna's
are
looking
just
good.
unstoppable. I bought Luna the other day at 58, and today it broke 80, I believe.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
Global
honestly,
bullish
just
on
as
Luna.
unstoppable as Jewel.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that that pool's not heavier right now, but don't take my rewards.
So
I
I was
choose
also
myself.
thinking about the
Worst influencer
gardening.
ever.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, sorry. Go for it.
No, there's some blah blah. I apologize. But I was just thinking about the pools, and it's like, okay, if you've got multiple gardeners and each of them have different gardening skill, I think you get more rewards if the hero is better at gardening overall, and that's a combination of their stats and how leveled up they are and all that stuff. So, I'm wondering if the best strategy is going to be, simple and straightforward, like put your best gardener on your most lucrative pool and your second best gardener on your second best pool, or
That's
you
my
know,
plan. I'm definitely stacking my best gardeners in my heaviest pool, and then I'll probably spread out from there. It seems like
Yep.
that should be the way to do it, from my understanding.
Yeah, it makes
Um,
most logical sense. I don't know how that would get diverted.
yeah.
Well,
And
like,
and that's the thing is gardeners have been pretty undervalued, I feel like, in the markets and the tavern. I mean, you're not really much of a premium have been on them. I've been able to scoop up a bunch. I've been enjoying it, and I think that's kind of like the big thing is it's when fishing and foraging were hyped up, I was trying to accumulate like some miners and gardeners, and now, gardening's starting to pick up and mining's closer by. I'm trying to look at like some fishers and foragers as well now too, because people are going to probably dump a little bit of those so they can get some jewel back.
yup.
Um,
So what you're doing, you're
mm,
thinking the opposite of what the market is doing. It's very
right.
interesting.
Yeah.
That
I
strategy used to work. Usually works.
Yeah.
well, Frisky said, that all these professions should be economically balanced in the long term. So, I mean, it's a good strategy if you think about it like that. It's like if one kind of profession is selling less expensive than the others, I mean, there's a good chance it could get buffed in the future. So,
and especially because we don't have, the alchemist out yet. So, you know,
yeah.
a lot of the utility that we're getting from fishers and forgers isn't there other than like the runes, and then eggs, obviously. But the eggs are, still all speculation right now too. So it's just kind of hard. It's yeah, definitely a little bit harder to value the fishing and foraging professions right now. Whereas with gardening and mining, it's going to be, like there's going to be pure jewel rewards coming out of it. So it'll be a little bit easier for people to track and kind of get that, it's, you get like, oh, I got 15 bloaters. Like, how do I, manage that in my ROI, or like with the prices changing so much, just because
Mm.
there's a little less liquidity in those pairs. And then gold isn't as utilized as it can be. So, um, it's definitely, and I think it's just early, right? I mean, they've needed to kind of slowly implement all the questing, and they couldn't just do it all at once. And I think fishing and foraging will kind of prop itself up a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited for gardening. So
Yeah, for sure. And we just have to really see the numbers to see what kind of impact. Um, also, just for people tuning in, I did extend the giveaway, so it's gonna do at the top of the hour now instead of in just 7 minutes or so. So,
nice.
got a couple extra minutes if you're trying to get into that giveaway. We've got again 2 heroes being given up. We've got a pure knight miner that Sarah has offered up, and again we've got our fresh Gen 1 thief here ready to go. But yeah, man, it's just gonna be so exciting, and like it's so cool that there's so many different ways to play the game. I know low DeFi that you've just been like playing the tavern super hard, and there's some huge gains to get off the tavern. Anybody want to here like want to share like a win that they had on the tavern recently?
Oh man, I wish Superior was here because low DeFi. Remember that? How basically you guys were talking about a Dread Knight, And congrats to you, Tosh, for summoning a Dread Knight. I mean, that's a
Thank you.
huge win, man. I tried 5 times and I was 0 for 5, so
It
did not work
hurts.
in my favor. It really does hurt. But
Every time it hurts.
but yeah, I mean, Superior basically said that yeah, low DeFi. We were talking about this earlier the week. That he picked one up like less than 2,000 Joule. So that's
No,
I
there was,
saw that 1750.
I don't think that one was superior. So I was watching the hero sales and I was like, whoa. I saw some crazy sales go through that night, but someone bought up a Dread Knight for 1750 and I posted it in the chat and Superior was like, what? And then he checked and there was one, I think for a little over 2,000 that he just grabbed up right after it.
there's no sense for you to put that less than 3,000. That's
Heck no.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
at the Tavern now. There's one uncommon up for 3,500. So whoever bought that one for 1750, just like
Oh, wow, that
2x so
legendary-
easily. A nice chunk of
legendary
cash there
summon.
too. That's like 20 grand for free.
So let me ask you guys this really quick. I mean, would you buy a Gen Zero or would you buy a Dread Knight?
Oh, I would buy Gen Zero definitely.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
I feel like Dread Knight you would have to, that's I think a little bit longer play down the line, obviously. with,
Totally.
PvP, PvE, but I mean, there's been some good deals on some Gen Zeros now because again, you'll see as Jewel goes up, the Gen Zero floor I guess will kind of is staying, maybe at like 5,500 ish at the floor, but as that price keeps going up, people will, start looking at the USD value a little bit more of their cards, and they'll lower that jewel price. So if you have a good amount, like it's always a good time. I'm always doing that too. I'm always trying to look at the Tavern as prices are rising up, seeing people kind of like get a little bit more antsy, wanting to get some of that, rise in USD values. So yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the Gen Zero right now floor is just at 70,000.
Yeah,
USD.
5,600. 5,600 jewel, which is 76 or like 70,000 there. That's crazy.
Yeah, I would guess that seeing as how it's difficult to get a Dread Knight, but there will be more over time. And I mean, I know there's going to be more Gen Zeros when AVAX launches, but that's going to be a small portion, like only 500, and they're going to be a new class, So
Right.
I would guess the Dread Knights would go down over time, but then you never know. I mean, it could be like when they get leveled up to max, it's like one of the most valuable things in the game. But of course, we don't really have PvP. That's kind of further out on the roadmap, so it's a little bit more of a long play there.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are talking about the Gen Zeros on AVAX in terms of, like I'm prepping for that. And for me, I like it doesn't really cross my mind too much because I know that it's not going to be cheap. I mean, when Gen Zeros were initially minted, it was, 1,500 Joule when the price was $1. I mean, they're not going to let these 500, and you got, orders of magnitude more people that know the true value of a Gen Zero. I think it's going to be such a dogfight. I'm really interested to see how it's going to go down. I feel like it's going to be one of those mints where it's just going to, I mean, I know AVAX is probably a little more stable and can handle a little bit more volume, but it's going to be quite the event.
Well, would you easily speculate that if it's going to be a quarter of the market cap of basically Jewel, wouldn't that be ×4 of the original mint, right? So it'd be like at least, I mean, if we're talking about Jewel, it'd be like what, 8,000 Jewel to mint one of these?
I don't know if it's
probably
gonna
say a
have
little
like.
lower.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna have like a crazy price, but I think just the opportunity to mint is gonna be super hard. And
Yeah.
Frisky already noted that it's gonna be done in with like several different ways. So I could totally see like 100 being done with a contest, or 100 being done with like a questing thing, or who even knows? Like the opportunities are endless, but it's not gonna be straightforward. But yeah, just like you, low DeFi, like I am not worried about that mint because like if I can get an opportunity, I'm gonna give it my best bet. But honestly, with only 500, like I don't really think I'm gonna get one, and that's gonna be okay.
I'm 100% more focused just on the crystal staking. I'm really excited. I've been in the Harmony ecosystem since March, and it's mainly been where I've done all my crypto and DeFi, and I've known about AVAX, but especially since the expansion was stated, I've been doing a little bit more research and looking more at the ecosystem, and I'm getting really bullish on AVAX. I mean, the price action shows, and there's a lot of great things coming out of AVAX, so I'm super excited to kind of start branching out into other ecosystems and um, just seeing Crystal and having DeFi Kingdoms, like seeing a whole new map and world is going to be so much fun. And
Yeah,
like
man.
kind of like the snow theme is super exciting. So
So
Yeah,
exciting. Sorry, go Hans.
yeah,
oh,
go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, yeah, I mean, these guys have really put so much thought into their roadmap. I mean, it's like, you hear about the Jewel unlock coming, like July or later next year, and then you're thinking like, okay, well, so what does that mean? That's when it's gonna tank. But then you look at the mechanics, and you're like, no way, because Q1 you've got the AVAX launch, and everyone's just gonna be, I mean, it's gonna be crazy. People going after this crystal, and there's only one quarter as much as there is Jewel, and by the time the freaking unlock starts, you might even have another blockchain going. I mean,
Right.
what if they're out on freaking Matic or Phantom or something like that by then? And you're like, I mean, no one's going to be selling their Jewel. You're going to be staking it to get, I don't know what, Sapphire and Amethyst, whatever it's going to be called on the other chains. And so, I mean, like, um, it's just really exciting. I mean, I'm just really glad how much thought's been put into this.
Dude, seriously, like I'm gonna have to have so many like different pools of Jewel. It's like I can't have enough of it. And like I'm just gonna have to stake for all these new tokens, have them like
Yeah.
farming on the other gardens, on the ice gardens, and like, oh, there's a third expansion now. Like, oh my gosh, Jewel's so bullish.
Yeah, it's funny. I was been in the like I'm always in the Discord chats, and someone was just like, "Yeah, like what are you gonna sell Jewel for? Like what would you
Like what?
like USD? I
Sell
mean,
Jewel?
like why? Yeah, exactly. Like
Like
there's
maybe like a house.
yeah, exactly. But it's just like
I'm gonna
I
buy
like
some 30-year bonds with negative yield. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, if
yeah,
that's what you're into, I mean, the USD is the worst shitcoin out there. I mean,
It's my favorite.
yeah.
I mean, how about the fact that like the entire markets and Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything is shitting, and DFK is just mooning. Like, right? It's a huge middle finger. I mean, I think to like,
it happened.
I
It
mean,
happened in
not to do it
So
like
September
aggressively, but it's like this community is so strong and the project is so bullish. If it can go up in like a mini bear cycle that we're in, I mean, when the market turns around, this thing is just gonna moon. I mean,
It's it's
I,
it's
so
this it's
crazy.
this and everything. While everything was bleeding across the board, I mean, this and Luna have been just amazing,
I'm telling you,
and I've
yeah,
been
Jewel
loving it.
Luna.
I've
Yeah,
been loving Luna as well.
so cool, so cool. Yeah, Sarah in chat just saying, just paid for a move to a new country and a deposit on a house. So, yep, life changing stuff happening in DFK all the time.
Yeah, Jewel has basically allowed me to take full time off of my job, and I left my job, and now I'm here. I started a podcast, and I'm spending all my time like doing DFK, and I have time I can spend with like my family, and it's been so great, and it's crazy how quick things happened. Like I'm not condoning, people to just get up and leave, but it's pretty amazing, the opportunities it's created for so many people, and like it's just seeing everyone just kind of like rise together is just so much fun.
We're making it. We're making it. I know I'm the same boat. I've left a lot of my work responsibilities as well to do crypto and YouTube, and it's super exciting. How about you two? Like any big changes since DeFi Kingdoms has launched for you in your everyday life?
I don't. For me, I don't think so. I mean, I'm doing this. I love money, so I'm still in corporate. I am doing this obviously on the side. I'm actually making a lot more than I do at my job. So, but yeah,
Come to
I
the
mean,
dark side, the degen life.
I want to. I really do. I mean, when that happens, though, I have a time frame. I'm thinking 3 to 5 years, guys.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Well, we'll see where Jewel goes. Maybe that'll come sooner.
well, I've been full time in crypto for a few years now. So this hasn't really changed like anything like major life stuff, but it has really changed my perspective because I mean I think this whole GameFi thing is just the next big mega trend. and the best, the best team and the best game mechanics are just really going to win. And I mean, that's why I'm so bullish on this project. So really for me, it's just been like a shift of focus. I mean, I'm proud to be a DFK maximalist. I mean, this is great. So
Yeah, guys, I just want to jump in really quick. I have to hop off, but Tosh, thanks so much for having us. I am gonna hop off, and I think DeFi, you're gonna still be here, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Hard thanks for joining us. What's so much fun.
Yeah, thanks. Talk to you soon.
All right, catch you later, man.
Yep.
Yeah, for me it's been really interesting because I had been off social media for a long time, and this podcast got me back on Twitter, and seeing people like Satstart and Ansem who have this like huge community on Twitter following them, and it's so funny seeing like them, they have a lot of people that like listen to them, and they have a lot of pull, but they're having so much fun here on like DeFi Kingdoms, and even people like we interviewed Taiki last week, and these larger voices, and I'm starting to see more and more now they're really seeing the value, and it's crazy just people, even if you have $100 to invest, $200, $300, it really doesn't seem to matter, and especially with the news that came out today about the scholarship programs and really making an effort to onboard people from lower income countries. It's great seeing a way where it kind of can level the playing field in a lot of different aspects of the game.
Yeah,
Seems great.
I think that's one of like the coolest features of play to earn is like how it can actually unlock financial freedom to those in other countries where like there's not even opportunities to get like the highest paying jobs, and it can just be absolutely life changing.
yeah, that's an interesting point too. There's a lot of dynamics in play here. I mean, essentially, it's like you have a lot of value being created, and you can thank our terrible monetary policy and our reckless government for just printing money out of nowhere, but it is encouraging to see some of that value actually going to places where it's creating innovation, and the spread between like the wealth gap has gotten so bad that it's actually started to turn it's actually started to create opportunities like the play to earn thing, and scholarships where it's like, okay, I mean, maybe it's not, super glamorous, being a scholar, but, when the alternative was like, growing rice in a paddy field or something, or subsistence farming, it's a big step up. And I think, that could be a gateway for people to kind of get on to the next level and start getting into technology. And so there's a lot of positive externalities that can come from this.
Right, and the more I've been learning about DeFi in general, the last year or so, it's just been getting me more and more bullish, and trying to show people. I mean, like you look at a bank and you're getting what, like less than 1% annually. I mean, it's crazy what you can do with this new tech, and having your money work for you and creating passive income. Because I've been a big proponent of UBI and basic incomes for a while, and this has kind of really been like a natural progression for me to become so bullish and take a bunch of risks on here. And yeah, and I think just the way DeFi Kingdoms has allowed people to understand some of the more intricate parts of DeFi with the game aspect, and the art has been, and even just the way they explain the seeds. You plant the seeds and then you yield your harvest, I think has been really great just from an educational standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Gamify everything.
Yeah.
Well, cool. We just have just a couple minutes until this giveaway is gonna launch, so make sure you fill out that King Sumo and hit the big confirm button in the email that you get once you do that as well. For these two heroes. Yeah, sorry guys about that echo. In chat, it's fixed now. It's fixed.
Okay, good. Yeah, I know I saw a few people. Yeah, getting the audio right. I mean, I've just been learning about how to do all the live streaming, and I had a background in video, but it's been a while, so just getting back into it and you know creating content, uploading it to YouTube, doing like marketing and kind of branding yourself, putting yourself out there. And it's great like seeing how much content has been created just off of DeFi Kingdoms. Like Tosh, like you mentioned to me, I mean, you weren't much of a content creator until DeFi Kingdoms kind of put you into that, spot and position.
Yeah, heck yeah. I made my whole channel like just for DeFi Kingdoms. So yeah, there's so much opportunity like within DeFi Kingdoms and within the crypto space. And I'm just glad that I found like such an amazing project and community to be a part of. Well, I've got another fresh Gen 1 here. Should we try out a summon? What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So yeah, I got this fresh Gen 1. He's just a common thief. But this guy, he actually ended up being a fisher with strength and luck. So I'm going to rent a pairing for him. I think I'm going to go for, obviously, an archer to go for an advanced class here. But let's check out this guy's recessives. I want to get your opinions on like what kind of recessives we should look for to pair with it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. That's what I've been doing is I will take the main one I want to summon with, and then whichever ones I look at, I've been plugging them into the hero bot on Discord.
Oh, okay.
And
You've been using the Discord bot. So, like, how are you pairing up, like, with your recessive? So this guy, his main recessive one is a pure monk that has mining. So what should we pair this guy with?
Ooh, interesting.
And he's a thief, main class fisher.
Well, if so, we need an archer. I mean, would you look for like a? It wouldn't make sense to look for like a pirate recessive, would it? Just because you don't really need.
Yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense?
I'm just thinking like from a monk or a monk and pirate for a ninja, but that because I'm always Superior got me really into looking at subclasses too. So like trying to pair up your subclasses as well.
Yeah, I don't know how much the subclasses matter, but I think this recessive one matters quite a bit. Hans, have you done much summoning? Like, have you looked into that?
I've done a little bit, but I still I consider myself still fairly new at this. I'm pretty comfortable with like the Gen 0 summoning, but yeah, I mean, I think maybe you could, just look at the archers that have, that are obviously Gen 1 also, so you can get your max summons on your next one. And then just kind of see where you're at on the price point, if you've got a lot of options at that level, or if the price escalates very quickly.
Yeah,
Because,
let's check this
if the price,
out.
like doubles in the first 3, then the recessive genes probably aren't going to matter.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was noticing earlier that like not many people want to like rent out their 10 out of 10 summons for Gen 1, so it's like you almost have to get a Gen 0 to pair with.
Yeah, and that's why it's made it easier for me is to just plug in both of the heroes, and then it'll give you all the probabilities right there. So like I will match them based off of. I mainly look at the summons. If you're not summoning with a Gen 0, trying to match the summons and then the classes and the professions, and then I'll just kind of mix and match. So I'll do like 5 to 6 different combinations of the heroes, have it spit out all the information, and then I make my decision based off of that.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that remaining summons filter, because then you can filter by the remaining summons and then sort by price. Whereas right now,
yeah, that'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, so you can't do both sorts at once. And you're like, oh, so much scrolling, my fingers getting a cramp.
Right.
Like,
Let's see what we're looking at. That rare archer looks pretty nice.
Oh, that's a double archer. Oh, that's a Gen 0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Gen 0s are like cheaper because you can't even get like a 10 out of 10 summoner or Gen 1. But yeah, let's take a look at this guy. So his recessives are double thief.
Okay.
So interesting there. Let's check out this other one. So 847.
Yeah, what's your thief subclass?
It's a wizard.
Wizard, okay.
This one has priest recessive, so we're looking for pirate recessive.
Can I get the ID of your thief real quick? I'm just looking something up.
Yeah, it's 75141.
75141. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone said, what's the point of looking at R1, R2, R3? Aren't you trying to get an advanced class anyway?
Yeah, so I think like they have to like mutate in particular ways to get it. So I think if you like pair up the recessives, that like if it like procs on one end and procs on the other, then it like has a chance to mutate. I'm not totally sure how the mechanics are work. I have to get like Sandwich Punch or Sarah to go through those with me.
There's so much information. That's why I've just been using the bot, like, cause throwing it in, and then it's like, cause I'll put them two in, cause I'm going for paladins. So I'm looking for the best shot to get me the paladin, and then I'm kind of like trying to limit, the chances I'm getting like something I don't want. So like I don't want like the fishing profession or foraging. I'm looking for the ones that'll just throw, or certain subclasses. So
what do you guys think about breeding for, like, I mean, obviously it would be nice to get that advanced class, but as a secondary fallback, what do you think about just trying to get a more pure version of something? Like let's say you got a thief and an archer, right? And if the archer has recessive thief traits, you could at least produce like a pure thief, and that could be used later on to get you a better Dark Knight. I think
that could work out. Here's one that's an archer thief.
Has like the theory of not using the Gen Zeros for advanced classes, and rather summoning for like a more pure Gen 1. It definitely makes sense, I think. I know someone said subclass is irrelevant, but I don't think that's true. It's definitely a separate rule. There's benefit to it, obviously subclasses and everything, but
I feel like the subclass is irrelevant, but we'll see for sure. I think I'm gonna go with this archer thief here because this guy's also a fisher. So if we get like fishing on either of those, it'll be pretty solid, I think.
Yeah, if you have time, I know the giveaway's up, but then you can like plug those two into the hero bot on Discord, and it's really cool to kind of see your chances on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out later, so I don't have to bring up my Discord right now, but I'm definitely gonna check that out later. Let's check this guy out. So 71 Jewel Summon. Let's confirm this. Here we go.
All right, good luck.
Yeah. All right, we had how many giveaway contestants do we have? Oh, right, look at this. 664 participants here. Wow. 12,592 entries. Wow. 2 heroes up for grabs though. Super cool. But let's see what we get here. Wish me luck, guys.
All right, pray to RNGesus.
Thank you, RNGesus, save us. It's almost your birthday, I think.
And they said they're gonna get rid of the cooldown, thing with the if you wait too long to open your egg.
Oh yeah, I saw that today. Super exciting news.
Yeah, I think that'll be nice for people.
Oh, we got a pirate.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There might be some shenanigans going on here.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right, let's check this out. So we got a pirate. He's pretty average. It's a common 9 out of 9 summons, obviously, and then he's a fisher profession, so that's good. We got that there. And then 17 points for fishing, so not too bad, not too bad.
Well, every pirate must know how to fish, so makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, cool. It looks like this giveaway is ready to award, so I'm going to check that out.
Let's go. Good luck, everybody.
Yep,
okay. We have our 2 winners on Gmail. Actually, one is a Gmail, one's a Hotmail. So I'm going to read out the first letter and last 3 letters. So first winner, this is going to be for the Gen 1, is L, and then the email ends with rte@gmail.com. And then the other one is Hotmail, and it starts with B, and it has C_9 at Hotmail is the other winner. Congrats to our 2 winners.
I can't believe I won them both. That's so great.
Oh my god, congrats, dude.
Do you want to type those out in the YouTube chat, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, let me type those out. That's a good idea. Thank you. Well,
Have them send you an email.
yeah, I will send them an email. So make sure if you are one of those accounts that you'll get an email from cryptowithtosh@gmail.com. So do not respond to anything other than that. And make sure you're looking out for like sneaky capital I's or stuff. But yeah, let me write the heroes in or the emails in again. I'm going to put those in chat. So again, it's LRTE@gmail is our first one. And then the second one is Beam, and then C_9 is the second one at Hotmail.
Congrats. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I've been seeing an influx of giveaways just by so many different community members, and like just spreading the love, getting more people involved is great. I mean, I know so many people that, you know, like they've won a giveaway and it's really just like jump started their progress here on DeFi Kingdoms. And
dude, I know that's my favorite thing to see.
Yeah, being involved in the community, it's awesome. Everyone's so grateful, and you know, just from even, you know, the tipping bots and the Discord to, you know, just collaborations with content creators. Like everyone's just supportive. You know, like we've got other podcasts going on, and it's great. Like I love, you know, all of the other content creators, like bringing them on, talking with them, supporting their stuff. It's like it. Just as we get more people, like everyone just grows together, like growing that community, growing the ecosystem.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we need to give a special shout out to Hard Abs for, you know, stopping doing crunches for 30 minutes to chill with us. Like, that's great.
Yeah,
I know. What are the sacrifices that we make for this community? Oh man, this was fun. Yeah, guys, DFK is the best. Jewel is still so bullish. Let's just like get a quick capture on the price right now. 1246. We'll love to see that. Amazing.
Yeah, feels good. Hey, and you know what? We got the Bardcast coming tomorrow too. Are you guys coming to that?
Oh yeah, I should have pumped that up today too. So tomorrow we are actually doing a bard cast. So with we're getting all the bards together and doing a little podcast. It's going to be on an official DFK website. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure it'll be in the announcements. So that's going to be really fun, and we'll see what happens there too.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, Tosh.
Yeah, thank you, Tosh. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Low DeFi and Hans, thanks a bunch for coming. I'm going to wrap this up, but congrats to our winners once again. Thanks for everyone that joined in and participated and commented and shared the hype, and everybody that's just here in the DeFi Kingdoms community playing their part and contributing what they can and riding this train with us because it's just amazing. Yeah, well, thank you guys so much. Any final thoughts for our viewers?
Yeah, I'm just super excited seeing, you know, the growth in the last few weeks. I mean, the hype is just like palpable right now from Twitter to the Discord. Like everyone's in a great mood. We got gardening coming out. You know, there's so much to look forward to. So I'm just super thankful for all the support I've gotten with the JEWELCAST and, you know, all of the growth I've seen from the community and the dev team and the project. So I'm just excited for what's to come.
Yeah, me too. I gotta echo that. You know, I really like the community, and I'm stoked. We got gardening and mining coming out before the end of the year, and then AVAX coming like hot on the heels with Crystal Vale. I mean, there's so much awesome stuff to look forward to, and all these giveaways. You know, the mythic amulets and all that stuff. I mean, so it's great. I'm stoked. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, of course.
Heck yeah, we're all making it here. Anyways, we're going to end this. Thank you guys again so much for coming. Shout out to Low DeFi and Hans. Check out their socials and check out JEWELCAST too. Bardcast is tomorrow. Catch you guys around the block. Laters.
See you.
See ya.